Guys, Rev Sauce TV here. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon for the latest and greatest that comes to my channel. And everything will be down below in the show notes, including my game streaming places, referral links, donation links. Everything will be down below in the description of this video, including the sources that I'm sourcing. Now, I want to, some of you say I quote the wrong news. I'm getting it from wrestling sites. My news is wrestling sites, okay? I'm just giving my spin on it and my opinion. Sometimes Sean Ross Sapp, sometimes Brian Alvarez, sometimes these people quote sometimes wrong stuff, and sometimes they're even wrong. They'll even tell you on their podcast. So don't believe everything you hear in the wrestling news areas and what we talk about on YouTube and Rumble or whatever, in the IWC, YWC. Form your own opinion. And, when I quote this kind of news, I'm just basically giving my opinion on top of what dirt sheets and news article places and what other YouTubers are talking about. You know what I mean? So I'm going to be honest with you. When we report things, we're getting it from the dirt sheets, like Sean Ross Sapp, like a Brian Alvarez, like a Dave Meltzer. So I want to make that clear. And sometimes I'm wrong in my opinion. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm wrong in predictions. I never said I was a genius at cover wrestling and, sports, tech, things like that. I get things wrong a lot of the time. And please correct me if I'm wrong down below. Always, I welcome that because it makes me a better commentator. It makes me a better analyst, when we do wrestling stuff. And I'm not getting paid by any company or anything like that. I'm just giving my own opinion. It's purely my opinion. I've not been to any media scrums. I would love to one day. I would love to have my own radio station and be able to podcast and do the things, one day. But I just want to be transparent with you guys. I'm just reading what I see online. And I'm just putting my spin on it, and just discussing and talking about it in video form with either gameplay or a static image going through. So I just want to make that clear. So these releases, Mustafa Ali, Emma, Elias, Top Dollar, Rick Boogs, Rajek Moss, Aaliyah, Shelton Benjamin, Dolph Ziggler, Mace, Mansoor, Dana Brooks, Commander Aziz. I'm not surprised about Commander Aziz, and Sharky, Quincy Miller, Bronson Montana. There's going to be more. They said the next couple of days there's going to be more releases. Again, Lacey Evans is not on this list. Again, there's a lot of people that are going to be probably released, big names. First, we're going to start with Mustafa Ali. Where do I think he's going to go? I think a logic picture would be Impact. I think Impact will work perfect for Mustafa Ali. I think testing the indie scene, maybe MLW would be good. I could see him in AEW. But I don't want AEW just to go sign people because I don't want them to be in the same boat as they were in WWE. I want them to be utilized. I want them to make as much money, and I want them to be in prominent storylines. Like, for instance, Mustafa Ali can go to Impact and already have feuds with Leo Rush, Josh Alexander, Bullet Club, A, B, and C. There's, Trey Miguel, Sammy Callahan, Rich Swann. There's so many elements that Mustafa Ali could do for Impact. I think it would be perfect. There's the Octopus over there as well. Emma can go back to Impact, really. Impact has a strong women's division. I think, her being Tennille Dashwood would be perfect. She can come in as a face. She can win titles for Impact Wrestling. I think AEW would be perfect too because they're going to kind of need her because the women's division is kind of shitty. And they kind of need somebody like an Emma or Tennille Dashwood. Ring of Honor would do well. She was there for a minute there in Ring of Honor. Elias, I've been joking around in my buddy stream today in the PWO. I said he could be a Jesus and go walk with the Jesus, and he could do the whole, like they do, on the streets. When they're holding a guitar and doing the things, he could do that. He could, honestly be reborn. He could do so many different things. Maybe he comes back as maybe Ezekiel type character. I don't know. But he can work in AEW, I think, perfectly. Orange Cassidy, you could fit him in, maybe with the Embassy. You could put him in, in feuds. He's young enough. You could put him in as a singing kind of guy because his music background. You could do so much with Elias. Impact would work great. You can work with Joe Hendry. There's so many different things you could do with him there. Top dollar, you could put him in with Swerve Strickland. You can kind of have shit row kind of in AEW, but better. Maybe they do something with the Embassy with Swerve Strickland. Maybe be an enforcer for Swerve Strickland. Top dollar would work perfect over in AEW. I could see him in Impact. Maybe MLW. Maybe New Japan. Same with Elias. You could probably see Elias going New Japan with New Japan Strong. Emma can go to Stardom. Maybe do something with New Japan. Again, Roddick Moss, Impact Wrestling with his wife or a girlfriend, Emma, I think would be perfect. Or AEW. I could see him in AEW, maybe Ring of Honor. Aaliyah was green. Aaliyah, they put so much stock into her. Aaliyah would be perfect for AEW. Kind of partner up with Sky Blue, maybe. Bring her into Ring of Honor. You could do Impact with her. Aaliyah was good shit. But we just did not get enough tape on her to go okay. Shelton Benjamin. This is the shocking one to me. But Shelton Benjamin, they didn't really use. I would bring him in as a Chris Jericho-esque into AEW if you're going to sign Shelton. I think Shelton would be perfect as a producer. I think he could be a coach. I think he's got a lot left in the tank at 45. I think he's got a lot left. I could see him as a TNT champion, international champion, world heavyweight champion if you want to go that way. I could see him in Ring of Honor. I could see him going back to his stomping grounds in New Japan. I could see him going to Impact if he wanted to and be part of the X division. There's a lot of things with Shelton Benjamin you can do. There's a lot of, right now in AEW, there's a lot of pieces that you could put him in, and sky's the limit. You could put him in Ring of Honor. People's frown upon Ring of Honor. There's too many titles in AEW. No, there's not. Actually, in fact, they're trying to feature Ring of Honor stuff in AEW to get a TV rights deal. People are not understanding how business works, but that's what you want to do. You want to put it front and center in front of executives that are watching the show so you can get a TV rights deal. Tony Khan is trying to shop Ring of Honor around. I wouldn't be surprised if they put it on the Max app under this sports deal because it looks like AEW is going to the Max app. Anyway, let's get back into talking about enough of me getting sidetracked on other stuff. Dolph Ziggler. This was shocking to me. I really thought Dolph Ziggler was a lifer in WWE. I thought he was going to retire in WWE. I think he goes AEW with his brother. I really believe that. I don't think Impact would facilitate him or maybe offer him money. Maybe he takes the Matt Cardona approach because Matt Cardona right now is the indie darling of the indie scene. He has literally raised his stock. I don't know why Matt Cardona has not been signed by Impact Wrestling or re-signed with Impact Wrestling or brought in as AEW. I think a lot of organizations are sleeping on him, and that's just my personal opinion. But Dolph Ziggler, you could pencil in AEW. You could pencil him against Orange Cassidy, Wardlow. Wardlow's going to need people to feast on when he comes back after injuries or a hiatus from AEW. You could pencil Dolph Ziggler in with the Best Friends. You can have him penciled in with Nick and Mac Jackson under the Elite if you wanted to. There's so much you could do with Dolph Ziggler. And also, Dolph Ziggler's a great worker. You can have him work in the tag team division. You can have him win international championships. You can give him a title belt, a main roster title belt of the World Heavyweight if you wanted to. This is where AEW is kind of in a hard spot. There's a lot of people that have been dropped. I guarantee, Tony Khan's on the phone right now making calls to certain people when he's allowed to and talking business. But again, all these wrestlers have a 90-day non-compete clause. Again, Dana Brooke was another shocking one. Dana Brooke can pencil in Impact. I think Impact would do her wonders. I think New Japan would do her great. Honestly, AEW would do her great. I think, Dana Brooke could be a TBS champion. I think she could be a Impact Tag Team Champion. I think she could change up what she is. She's got the wrestling attributes. Again, she was a great worker. It's not like WWE couldn't have made her women's champion. But again, WWE slept on her and misutilized her like Dolph Ziggler. And, Dolph Ziggler said it. The money was good. That's why he stayed. And, Dana Brooke is another one that money was great. I stayed. Commander Aziz, Apollo's, when he was doing the whole South Africa thing, being a, from Kenya and being a, tribal chief of his own. Commander Aziz was his bodyguard. Again, he's good, but WWE didn't put anything behind him. He could be a, how can I say it? He could be a Lance Archer kind of character for AEW. He could do New Japan. Maybe he retires. I don't know. Mace is another one that we didn't really get to see. We saw him with Retribution, I believe, where he was masked up, and then he did some things with Hijack, whatever his name is, Dijak. I don't know. NXT Dijak is like, I think he's going to get released. They're doing nothing with him, giving him like a Punisher type, Undertaker type role, character. It's kind of garbage. Mace, honestly, they didn't know what to do with him. They kept putting him in this role, that role, this role, that role. And then you put him in Maximum Male Models that was really going nowhere. It was floundering. Triple H was trying to book it. Couldn't figure it out. You get really snarky. I don't know this wrestler. Our Quincy, I think it was Quincy Miller, is basically Quincy Jones, I think. And then Bronson Montana, I have no idea who those people are. But most of these talents are either performance talents that they had eyes on, but they weren't fully investing into for NXT, or didn't really work out. Mansoor, honestly, Impact would be perfect for him. Muhammad Yashara, I think Mansoor would be perfect over there. They got the India thing going on over there. They do shows in India. They have a huge TV deal in India. I think Impact would be perfect. Honestly, Ring of Honor would do good for Mansoor. Dana Brooke, same thing. Commander Aziz, same thing. But does AEW want to take chances on these talents? I think Mustafa Ali is AEW bound. I believe that. And then I could be wrong. Tennille Dashwood, she has a no name in the indie scene. I could see her completely in AEW. I don't think she wants to go back to Impact because she's been there, done that. Elias, Impact. I really see Impact for him. I think he could do Impact and do amazing things. Top Dollar, I could kind of see him in Ring of Honor or being with Swerve Strickland under the Embassy. I could see that. Or being a bodyguard eventually for the best heel in the business right now, I think, in Swerve Strickland. I've said that. Rick Boogs, he got momentum, but they didn't really put any stock into him. I could see him going to Ring of Honor and kind of being a younger version of Brian Cage and maybe homing his craft, maybe an Impact. Aaliyah, again, Ring of Honor would work great. MLW would work great. New Japan / Stardom would work great for her. Again, Shelton Benjamin can go back to his roots in again, as I said, with, Impact / New Japan if they wanted to do with him. Dana Brooke. Again, these guys and ladies, now this is going to be an updated list. We don't know the rest of these lists. As the days go by, I'll keep updating. But as of right now, it just looks like more people are going to be released. I wouldn't be surprised if they release Matt Riddle for all the circumstances, because WWE right now is, we don't want drama. That's why they're forcing Vince McMahon to kind of resign, but that's up in the air. Again, like I said, Matt Riddle could be the next one to be released, but they did say more major names are going to be released. It looks like WWE's clearing out the fat, and it looks like they're budget cutting like Emmanuel said they were going to do. They were going to budget cut, and here we are. Now, what do you guys think down below in the comment section? Are you happy? You sad? I'm kind of happy for Mustafa Ali, Emma, Elias, Top Dollar, Rick Boogs, Roderick Moss. I'm happy for these people because they weren't really being utilized, and I think, them going on the indie scene, and some of them could do what Matt Cardona did, like Dolph Ziggler could, and join up with Matt Cardona and really rule the indie scene if they wanted to. or Dolph Ziggler can go where his brother's at. There is so many possibilities they can do with all these talents. And honestly, I'm happy for most of them. They deserve to be in the spots they are. And after 90 days, I could see tons of them going over to different products and making those products better. Emma was doing great things as Tennille Dashwood. I didn't think she needed to come back to WWE. I thought that was more about money than it had to do with creative. I think, this time around, she should prove that why she's the best in the world. She was really good. In Ring of Honor, she was putting bangers and matches. Impact, bangers and matches. And again, that's just my personal opinion. Again, Dolph Ziggler was shocking. Dana Brooke was shocking to me. But at the same time, I'm not, because they were relegated to NXT or put here and there and having titles put on them, or, just having titles just to flounder, just to be bottom of the barrel. So at the end of the day, what do you guys think? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.